Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. A very happy Friday to all of you. As you can see, late last night, Kimball Musk tweeted a picture with his new belt buckle, "Don't mess with Texas." I thought this logo and design was pretty cool, although I have no affiliation with Texas. And in case you were dozing off or distracted during the beginning of the shareholder meeting last night, the investors did re-elect Kimball Musk to the board as well as James Murdoch. Next up, Tesla announced the date for their Q3 earnings report, the financials, Wednesday, October 20th. So this is roughly 1 week ahead of schedule for when they usually announce these results, which is typically bullish because when companies have good news to share, they want to do it sooner rather than later. But that's just a general thing in the world of finance. Either way, mark your calendars. Next up, Giga Berlin tweeted, Tesla got a further preliminary approval for Giga Berlin. A lot of testing is now allowed and installation of more chimneys. Cool. Link below if you want to check out the document. So getting into the shareholder meeting last night, just a few things I want to go over real quick that I thought were impactful. First and foremost, slightly disappointed with the questions from both Say and the people at the event. I mean, how many times are we going to ask Elon about the VTOL electric jet? We know that he wants to do it, but Tesla has way too much on their plate at this point. Hopefully we can all stop asking that question. But Elon did say by 2023, he expects the Model Y to be the best-selling vehicle of any kind on the planet. Quick PSA, Elon put to bed the Model 2 last night, so let's all stop using that and move on to the Model Q, the Model A, whatever you want, just not the Model 2. That's not going to happen. But the most interesting thing for me last night was twofold. First, Elon was talking about the pilot line for 4680s at Cato Road, and he said that it would be enough cells to supply the Model Y ramp at Giga Texas, which could produce some vehicles this year. Now, this definitely is not a guarantee, but it gives us some hope that the Model Y might actually start the ramp with 4680s from Cato Road. Now, this would also call into question that maybe Giga Berlin does indeed start with the backup plan, the 2170 cells, while the 4680s ramp. So we'll have to wait and see, but I thought this was very interesting as most of us were expecting the Model Y at Giga Texas and Giga Berlin to start with 2170s. The second most surprising thing from last night has to do with gigafactories. I think many people were expecting Tesla to announce another 2, 3, 4 gigafactories here relatively soon, but Elon pumped the brakes. The point being, these current factories are going to be enough volume for Tesla to maintain its 50% growth every year, Elon said, for quite some time. So they don't actually need to race to build new gigafactories. And this is actually a very good thing for Tesla in the long run. Hear me out. So each iteration of a new gigafactory will improve when it comes to efficiency and all of that. So now Tesla should have another 2 years, we'll say, because Elon said 2022 they'll start to look, then maybe 2023 they'll choose a location, start building sometime end of 2023. But in that 2 years with Giga Berlin and Giga Texas coming online and ramping, they are going to learn so much. So then that next gigafactory will be even better. Whereas if they were to start building it now, they would miss out on all of that opportunity to learn. So I think this is a great thing. Not only do the current gigafactories have a ton of room to expand and ramp to millions of units per year, but Tesla will have more time for that next set of gigafactories wherever they may end up. Next up, with Tesla moving its headquarters to Texas, I think there are a few really important things to cover. First, Austin is slowly becoming a tech hub itself. AMD and Dell already have an Austin, aka Silicon Hills, presence. As of November, 35 companies had relocated to or opened new facilities in the Austin area in 2020 alone. And of course, as Elon said, there's just going to be more room to expand in Austin than there currently was in Fremont. It's expected there should also be less government regulation and restrictions in Texas, and we can refer to the lockdown situation in Fremont, where Tesla actually sued the government, and Elon had to deal with tweets like this from political figures in California. To which Elon said way back when, message received. But we have to remember, the way the legislation is written in Texas, Tesla can't sell cars directly to customers, so theoretically they would have to order the car online, Tesla would then ship the vehicle out of state and send it back into state so that the transaction actually happens out of state. Now online you'll hear plenty of people commenting that, well, that's not true, I bought a car in Texas. The problem was the car they bought was actually being made in Fremont, so when these vehicles start being made in Texas, things will change. because the Texas legislature has run out of time to make the necessary changes to state franchise laws in the current session and won't reconvene again until 2023. They do this every 2 years. Just in case you're not familiar, existing franchise dealership laws require automakers to sell through third-party dealerships. Texas is one of those states, so all purchases must be handled as out-of-state transactions routed through Tesla stores in other states. A bill was actually introduced that would have allowed Tesla to sell cars directly to customers in Texas, but it stalled. So once again, we have another 2-year wait until 2023 until the legislature meets again. And as you can see, May of this year, Teslas made in Texas will have to be shipped out of state to be sold back to Texas residents. Elon commented saying Tesla sure would appreciate changing the law so that this is not required. So yes, I know it seems like lunacy, and to some degree it is, but this is just the way the laws are, so hopefully they will change in 2023. And another expected benefit for Tesla was going to be cheaper real estate. I say possibly though because the prices of real estate in Austin and the surrounding areas have already gone up pretty significantly with all of the people moving there. So it was definitely cheaper than the Bay Area, and it still is for the most part, but they're going up quickly, so it's important to note. And real quick, just be careful. There's a ton of people saying Tesla's gonna save a ton of money in taxes moving to Texas. Maybe, but Tesla is already incorporated in Delaware where they're getting some level of tax savings, so their tax savings may be incremental because they weren't actually incorporated in California. Some other no-brainer things, Starbase, where Elon spends a ton of his time, is in Texas. The Boring Company is already headquartered in Austin. The power issues in Texas will give a huge opportunity to Tesla Energy in the years to come. And of course, as mentioned, less traveling for Elon because he already lives in Texas. And just to show you, here you can see from the SEC, Tesla Inc. is incorporated in the state of Delaware. I've included a link below, more reading on this topic if you may be wondering why. And Elon actually tweeted today about the AI hiring ramp. AI Day was definitely a success. As you can see, they ramped up 100-fold in terms of applicants to work at Tesla in the AI division after AI Day. But he added, sorry if we've been too dumb to respond to you. Please cite evidence of exceptional ability in a few bullet points. Nothing else matters. And he added, if you'd like to join Tesla AI but can't easily move to Palo Alto or Austin, that is acceptable for extremely excellent candidates where inefficiency of distance is overcome by talent. So an important reminder here that Tesla is not just leaving California, they're still going to expand Fremont and Giga Nevada by over 50% according to Elon. I don't know how they're going to do it if they're already to the gills at the Fremont factory, but it's what he said. Next up, Tesla going to try to make the safest ATV ever, so they are still designing it, it sounds like, but Elon did make a comment that if you get a Cybertruck, you have to also get an ATV, so I don't know if the production will be ready along with the Cybertruck, which he said would be late 2022, so we'll wait and see. But just so you guys know, in 2018, there were an estimated 81,800 ATV-related emergency department treated injuries in the United States, and the average annual deaths from ATV experiences are around 600 per year. So nothing really revolutionary from the shareholder meeting, but everything is going really well, and Elon reiterated the over 50% growth for quite some time. So all is well, let's continue to enjoy the ride. And today is Friday, so let's take a quick look at Tesla stock for the week. As you can see, Tesla opened the week around $7.96 per share, and most recently is trading around $7.86 per share, down roughly $10 or 1.25% on the week. And last Friday, October 1st, what did we talk about? We said Tesla will most likely trade between $770 and $800 per share as it consolidates in this new range, having previously broke those $760 levels. So now we're looking at a daily chart, so each bar is 1 day. Tesla has reached through that 800 mark twice now, but each time there has been selling pressure, so we have yet to see that close above the 800 mark. And moving to a 30-minute chart, each time the price has broken through that 800 level, shortly thereafter there has been pretty significant selling pressure pushing it back down. This has happened once on Monday, and a very similar pattern just played out yesterday, pushing through 800, but very soon thereafter selling pressure pushing it back down. So as we've said, 800 is going to be the next level where there is a battle going on, and a certain level of people are willing to sell their shares at 800. And I was going to get into DeMark indicators today, but I want to keep the video short, so we'll save that for next week or over on Patreon in the coming weeks. That is all for today. Please take a second to like the video if you did. Hope you all have a wonderful and safe weekend, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.